It's a beautiful day for football, and welcome to Moncton and the Rocky Stone Field for the Maritime Football League action. The Halifax Harbour Hawks and the Moncton Mustangs take to the field for this regular season game number 2. The defending champions, the Stangs, trying to get it done here. Both teams are 1-0. Good afternoon and hello everyone. Chris Corey, Vince Williams on hand here at Rocky Stone Field, and we're just about to kick off here. Halifax with the return. And on the return, that's a good-looking return right off the bat. And that is Jarrett Melnick. So the Harbour Hawks, Chris, come into this game 1-0. Were able to get it done last week in Halifax, knocking off the Prince Edward Island Mariners in a very impressive victory.
Well, that's the thing. The Mariners obviously a solid squad here as well. They're going up against the defending champions this afternoon in the Moncton Mustangs, who were able to, in dramatic fashion, I guess, dispose of the St. John Wanderers, one of the toughest teams in the league here last weekend at Rocky Stone.
Micah Brown hands it off to Cameron. Cameron picks up 2. Micah Brown, the starting pivot for the Harbour Hawks. Micah Brown, to all the AUS fans that are familiar with the AUS and follow the AUS, Brown is a very impressive quarterback who's a former Husky and a former champion at the world stage for Team USA.
Well, that's the thing. Micah Brown, obviously highly skilled quarterback here in the lineup for Halifax.
2nd and 8, and on second, that is Miles with the catch, and limited yards there with a 1-yard gain. 3rd down coming up and long for the Harbour Hawks in their first possession. Both of these teams come into this afternoon's action at 1-0. The Harbour Hawks in their inaugural season, and they're looking to knock off the defending champions, the champions of McIntyre Cup number 16. Brown, he's wrapped up, escapes. Brown keeps the play alive. Looks downfield, and that's completed to Miles. Miles scrambling, loses the tackle. Miles to the 5, and that's a touchdown, but a flag on the play. So let's wait and see what we have here, Chris.
Have a look here, but a blown opportunity there. Nice pass rush by the Mustangs getting on to Micah, but his maneuverability in the pocket allows him to escape in a long bomb out to Melnick, like you said, who scampers for a touchdown. Barring a hold here, I think it would stand, but they do seem to be bringing them back here at midfield.
Yeah, we have two flags on the play, and it looks like the initial signal by the head official this afternoon, Ray Dunn, he signaled holding on the offense, and we might have something in the defensive backfield here, as that flag is way downfield, about 15 yards away from the line of scrimmage. So to try to sort things out here, as the officials are coming together in this afternoon, we have, looks like Danny Apkins, Frazier, Ryakowski, Rob Prosser.
Sorting it out, Ray Dunn in the white hat. He'll get it sorted out. But
well, just our first few penalties, and right off the bat, it's, it looks like it's going to be a dual foul, but
they could be offsetting here, but surprised there was any type of holding on the O-line here from Halifax with the
Ian, what's the number?
D-lineman here from the Mustangs got, but they seem to be spotting the ball.
Well, let's just see what Ray's got.
On the other side of the field? Holding, number 55 on the offense.
So we got 50
pass interference on number 13 black. We're going to redo 3rd down.
Redo 3rd down here, offsetting penalties.
Holding against Halifax.
So we have pass interference and holding against Halifax.
That's going to negate a nice 50-yard bomb here.
Absolutely. That negates the touchdown. Not particularly sure if this is the correct call, but nevertheless, we are going to reset. If you can take a look at the replay there, Brown did an outstanding job eluding the tackle there as the blitz was on by the Mustangs. Couldn't get home.
Took a hit for his efforts, but good job there, too, of the Halifax receivers blocking downfield.
So the head man Dunn calling a hold and a pass interference call, and we'll reset to 3rd and long.
Got to get to the 54.5 here.
Here's
Trouble
Brown.
again.
Brown gets out of the pocket, looks downfield to Miles. He has first down distance, and that's a first down for the Harbour Hawks. So once again, Micah Brown able to elude the oncoming tackler. Let's take a look.
Look at his maneuverability out to his non-throwing side here as well. He bails out the back door on Alec Pellerin, getting good rush upfield. But again, throwing on his offside with accuracy is Micah Brown, starting to put on a clinic here and show you why he was a standout here at St. Mary's University.
Outstanding play by Brown in back-to-back plays. Pellerin has been in the backfield twice, unable to wrap up Brown and bring him down. So first down for the Harbour Hawks. Here's Cameron. Cameron gets outside, gets a block.
Gets the edge.
And it looks like he has first down yardage, but we have a flag on the play. So let's take a look.
Cameron on the carry. There's
see
a
what
flag
this
on
one
the play.
is.
Got the edge on the short side of the field as well.
It was an outstanding block to seal that edge, and we have offside called on the Harbour Hawks. That's the initial call. So that'll negate a first down run by Alex Cameron.
Okay, there we go.
And that'll reset back to first down. It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Offsides on the offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Again, sort of a frustrating call to go offside. If it was a receiver,
Offside against Halifax, it'll be first and 15.
Absolutely, and it has to be a receiver as the line judge made that call. Responsible for the line of scrimmage, especially when the plays ran away from you on the opposite side.
Reset to do first down again.
So here's Brown again. Cameron, limited yardage, and he's wrapped up and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And that was a good penetration by Ben Dunstan, the defensive lineman for the Mustangs.
Alex
So
Cameron
second
on the
down
carry.
and long, Chris.
No gain. It'll be second and 15.
As the Harbour Hawks go to the hurry-up offense.
Some tough sledding inside there for the Harbour Hawks inside that D-line here of the Mustangs, especially in 10-man ball. Nice play action.
Brown now, and that's incomplete, and through the hands of the intended
Pass is incomplete.
receiver,
That'll bring
Josh
up third
Thomas.
down.
Good looking pass off of that play action. Thomas unable to pull it down.
Well, that's Thomas here. You're going to see getting a big cushion by the DB. Really a ball he should have caught. Nice throw by Brown off that play action, negating bringing up those interior linemen.
Incomplete pass downfield on
Pass is
third
incomplete.
down.
That'll bring
Or
up fourth
second down, actually, as they roll. Actually, fourth coming up. They're trying to reset these downs here. So it's fourth down for Brown, as you can see.
Again, good job there by the DB from the Mustangs. That's going to be number 27, Joel Rickard, the old 2-7, former Trimble DB here as well from Moncton. Doing a nice job of getting a jam off the line, slowing down that timing play for Halifax.
So fourth and long, big play coming up, the first big play of the game. They're going for it, gambling, and going downfield and almost coming up with the circus catch. Unable to pull it in.
Pass is incomplete. It'll be first down for the Mustangs.
Brown liked that matchup. He's got
We are proud to
one of
announce
his
that
receivers
we have
lined up
one
on
performance
Zach Terrio,
center.
number 4 for the Mustangs. Really an interior linebacker, but atoned himself very well there in pass coverage as you see him stay with his receiver all the way down the field in a bit of a zone. Obviously a height matchup differential here for the Harbour Hawks, just unable to come up with that pass.
Yeah, Muhammad Morsi, unable to pull that one down. Was a good-looking play. He tried to go back-to-back, so it was turnover on downs, and now it's the Mustangs first and goal. And a good scamper right off the bat, and penetration and getting a first down, picking up 15 yards.
Aubrey Ellis on the
That's
carry.
going with Ellis. Ellis, an outstanding running back, an all-star last season for the Mustangs, and he can get it done in between the tackles, Chris.
Well, that's the thing you see here, that big old line, number 63, trucking D lineman off the line of scrimmage here. When your center's 7 yards downfield leading the blocks for you, you're running off a nice little chunk gain.
Evan Melanson. Ellis again off of the first down here, and he picks up 6. So Ellis penetrating with that
Aubrey
run.
Ellis on the carry.
As you can
picking
see, the
up 6.
Mustangs
It'll be
trying to
second and
establish the
4.
running game right off the bat.
And that's getting a good seal there, down block from number 64. It's going to be Greg Kinsman trying to seal that edge for Ellis, who's been very efficient the last couple of years here for the Mustangs.
Second down, Comfort. Ellis again, and he is wrapped up for a limited gain, and that's a good tackle, getting penetration in the backfield for the Harbour Hawks. And that was Robbie Holland. Robbie Holland, another outstanding standout. You can see in the replay there, Holland, a defensive lineman from Mount Allison University. So both of these teams have some AUS product or some budding AUS products, or even in the AFL playing on both sides. And that's what this league gives it, an opportunity for young players to develop.
Well, absolutely. You can see how young the league has gotten, but the caliber of athletes here, like you said, either a lot of former AUS players here and some budding up-and-coming AUS talent as well, sort of honing their craft here in the summer coming into AUS season.
Wide open in the flats and unable to pull it in, Tyler McEwen. And that was a good-looking play off the play action for the Stangs. McEwen had lots of real estate in front of him, just couldn't pull it down. And we got a fourth down, and looks like the Mustangs are going to gamble here.
Fourth down in Halifax territory.
Ellis, off tackle left side, and he is wrapped up and brought down by Josh Thomas. Great penetration. Getting into the backfield is Thomas. Is Thomas going both ways, as you saw him in the first series for the Harbour Hawks, unable to pull in that screen pass, but he makes the dividends and makes up for that pass that he didn't haul in with an outstanding play with the play in the backfield with the tackle.
Well, that's what you love to see here, some outstanding caliber football guys who do go both ways here all summer for their respective teams. And like I said, receiver on offense, but a guy who can come up and make a big tackle and a big stick here on defense for you as well on a big fourth down, giving possession back here to the Harbour Hawks.
Cameron on first down, that's limited yards, maybe a gain of 1. So great penetration once again up the middle for the Mustangs, stuffing that one up. Has 96 with the penetration. Ben Dunstan, that's his second tackle, either at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. It's a good play up front there by Dunstan.
And that's thinking you got a good gap control there as well. Obviously trying to run off tackle here in the A gap. But again, I think Halifax is going to be better suited trying to run the edges here in this 10-man league.
Brown on second, fires and completes. And that's first down yardage for 12. That is Josh Thomas, the man that just made the great defensive play on the defensive side, comes up with that nice pass and reception.
Again, play action, basically carbon copy of the play that ended up being incomplete on their first drive. Going back to it here, looking to work on that cushion that he's getting here on the far side of the field.
Brown on first down. Brown scrambles, gets away from a tackle, and he picks up about 4 yards. So once again, Brown making plays with his legs, Chris.
Well, that's again seeing tight coverage downfield. He takes off with the ball, carrying it in a little bit of a precarious position here. Could have been ripe for a fumble, as you see some of his receivers trying to uncover downfield. We got a Mustang player down here on a knee. It looks like Alec Pellerin, possibly number 32.
So Pellerin trying to get to his feet here as he's being assisted by the medical staff of the Mustangs. He gets up to his feet and is walking off under his own power. But Brown, you can see he's been very explosive in the early going of this game in the first quarter, either making plays with his legs, either getting away from tacklers behind the line of scrimmage, or getting downfield and gaining yardage that way as well.
Well, that's Micah Brown's athleticism here served him well in his AUS career, and that's really something that the Mustangs are going to have to try to limit, his ability to make plays with his feet, and really having that long bomb called back here in the first in their first drive.
So Brown sets him up in second and 5. Brown again gets out of the pocket, but he is wrapped up and brought down, and that's an outstanding play on the edge by number 33, Andrew Oak. Oak making the play and unable to get away from that tackle is Brown. But you can see as he stepped up here. Let's take a look.
Yeah, and really good job by the D lineman here, forcing him to bail out of the pocket, and then Oak pursuing straight to ball, making sure of his tackle, and that's a hard thing to do here with Brown to get him in your sights, but good angles of pursuit here by that D-line, and Oak was really able to come in there and clean up that tackle.
So Oak with the sack, a loss about 3 yards, and that'll be 3rd and long here for the Harbour Hawks. Brown going downfield's got a man wide open.
Oh!
And can't bring it in, but he looked like he was distracted at the very last second by Drew Gaumont. And Guimont getting there as he was behind, as he was number 88 was wide open. Fisher downfield.
Lots of time for Brown in the pocket. Gives him time to see wide open play here, that seam, and then a bit of a zone coverage here. Guimont coming over at a 45-degree angle, just able to tip that ball and possibly allow that Halifax receiver to lose concentration, but another golden opportunity to strike with a long bomb here for the Harbour Hawks.
So a good-looking drive that they had going off of that first down catch by Thomas goes by the wayside. As it looks like the Harbour Hawks are in the punting situation here. We got a stoppage in play.
Going to have an onside player here as well for the Harbour Hawks on the far side of the field. You're going to see anybody lined up behind the ball or the kicker doesn't have to give yardage downfield on the coverage and can recover the football.
So Miles will punt for the Harbour Hawks. Jarrett Melnick is the onside man. Miles with a good-looking kick downfield. And a great tackle with coverage downfield by the Harbour Hawks, and that is number 10 wrapping him up, and that's Holland, the big man, getting downfield and making the play.
Holland doing it all here. Offense, defense, special teams lined up as the onside guy. Surprising they kicked away from the onside man. But, again, good coverage here by the Harbour Hawks downfield. Really no return there for the Mustangs on that punt.
Yeah, Guimont with a limited yardage, maybe a half a yard. So the Mustangs will go to work on their second possession as Comfort brings them up to the line of scrimmage. Ellis. Here's Ellis, hurdles a man. Ellis still on his feet, and Ellis picks up a first down. So the outstanding play in between the tackles again. Aubrey Ellis getting the job done.
Yeah, you're going to see here a nice job by that O-line, allowing Ellis to get some room here inside the tackles. You're going to see Moncton using a bit. You can only have 3 down linemen, but you're going to see them use a bit of an H-back or another blocking lineman in there, sort of as a fourth blocker, where you're going to see most of the runs here by Ellis usually go to that side.
Ellis again off the right side on first down. Ellis into the defensive backfield, and he picks up back-to-back first down. So the Mustangs going to the running game. Aubrey Ellis and back-to-back gains of 15 yards.
Well, you're going to see Ellis here again. Nice blocking upfield. Really, your O-lineman here 8 yards downfield, blocking into the secondary, allowing Ellis to rip off another big gain. But really, like I said, the powerhouse here for this Mustang offense is the run game. Halifax is going to have to stop him in the backfield before he gets going.
And this is the 8th run for Ellis. Ellis once again into the backfield, and he picks up another first down. So that's 8 runs for Ellis, and Ellis is up to 64 yards already in the first quarter. Chris.
Well, at this point here, why do you stop giving him the ball? He's ripping off 8 and 10 yard chunks here every time he touches it, and really nothing wears out a defense like a team that can run the ball in the middle of the field like Moncton is doing here and controlling the line of scrimmage.
The Mustangs with the big hogs up front definitely getting their man to turn downfield, and Ellis has been the factor here. Comfort now, though, on first down. Comfort trying to elude the tackler, and Thomas once again comes up from his linebacker position and brings down Comfort, who gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And Comfort on the keeper.
Good job there. You're going to see some pressure by that Halifax D-line getting upfield, and then Thomas flowing the ball, able to come up and take down Comfort here to negate this offensive drive here for the Mustangs. But again, I think they're just lucky they didn't hand the ball off to Ellis.
Ellis on the pitch. Ellis is wrapped up and met, and that's great penetration and getting to the offensive backfield, and that's number 40 of the Harbour Hawks making that play, and that's Nate Adams.
Forrest on the carry.
Looks like Ethan Forrest here into the game, trying to take that pitch, get outside, but good pursuit there by Halifax.
Okay.
Especially on that second and long situation. But now Moncton in a bit of a predicament. 3rd and about 17 here to go for the Mustangs here on this drive.
So Forrest checks in for Ellis. Comfort on 3rd down.
All kinds of time.
Fires downfield, and that's completed, and that'll be short. It'll be about 9 yards to go. Excuse me, about 5. It'll be 4th and 5 coming up. But that was a good-looking offensive play for Comfort as he bought some time, outstanding time there from the offensive line, giving Comfort some opportunity to fire that shot downfield.
Well, that's Comfort's got a great arm on him, especially when you're rolling out to your strong side. Nice catch there by looks like 88 Cameron Morley, able to secure that pass quite nicely here by Comfort, makes catching a football looks pretty.
So the Mustangs will gamble on 4th down here. Comfort,
quick hitter,
complete it, breaks a tackle, gets upfield, and that's a 1st down for the Stangs as they are in striking distance here. That's an outstanding play and a good quick shot there by Comfort.
Well, I like that just one-step drop here by Comfort, getting that ball out to negate any pass rush by Halifax, especially on 4th down. Quick hitter over the middle, enough for Morley to secure that 1st down and keep this drive going for the Mustangs.
So Morley with back-to-back catches gives the Mustangs a 1st down as they are in the red zone now. Ellis back into the game. Ellis picks up limited yards on 1st down. He got about a gain of 3, so that will bring up 2nd and 7.
You're going to see here inside that H-back or wing-back from Moncton really working as Ellis's fullback, leading him through the hole. But some good tackling there again by Holland, who's been all over the field here for the Harbour Hawks in this 1st quarter.
Comfort on 2nd down, gives it to Ellis on the left side, eluded a tackler, and then he gets upfield for a gain about 5, and that'll bring up, a 3rd and about 2. So Ellis once again being very effective on the ground as he was able to elude that oncoming tackler in the backfield.
Well, you're going to see here too the crackback block as your receivers come down the line of scrimmage looking to peel off that defensive end to seal the edge for the runner. Blouin sort of missed his block there for the Mustangs, but Ellis able to make up for that and gain a couple yards here on the ground.
Ellis now in 1st down, red zone territory. Gets in within the 9-yard, and that was a huge gain. Huge gap opened up for the Mustangs.
You're going to see here bit of an inside block here. That H-back coming in and sealing that linebacker, forcing your DBs to come in at an awkward angle to try to bring Ellis down. So Halifax is in a bit of a predicament. Do you start stacking the box to shut down that run, at which point Moncton will either have some more time to throw or going to use the edges to run the ball with Ellis.
Under 30 seconds left in the 1st quarter. Ellis on the pitch, left side. Ellis looking for yardage, but he gets those shoulders turned downfield, and he'll get to the 2-yard line. So the Mustangs threatening.
Well, that's exactly it there. You're going to see Halifax bringing 2 linebackers into their defensive set. As soon as Moncton sees that, the pitch outside, Ellis able to pick up a few more yards here on the ground, just a couple away now from getting into the end zone.
So 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. The Mustangs will set up, looking to punch it in on their 3rd drive. Ellis, penetration, and Ellis gets over the goal line as he bowled through the tackle of Cawley. And that's the 1st touchdown as Ellis put in all the work in this drive, and he gets paid.
Well, he gets rewarded for his bringing the ball downfield here from Moncton. Cawley, good penetration in the backfield, but Ellis able to drag him about 3 yards into the end zone here. Good low tackle, just too much power by Ellis for Cawley to try and bring him down. So some more stats to the to the repertoire for Ellis here at this point.
So the extra point coming up here. And it's good through the uprise by Ben George.
Ben George's kick is good.
Ben George.
So 7-0 for the Mustangs. and we're going to step aside, but stay with us. You're watching Maritime Football League action here on Rogers TV. Welcome back to Rocking Stone Field in Moncton, New Brunswick for Maritime Football League action with Chris Corey, Vince Williams on hand. The Mustangs punching it on the third drive. Aubrey Ellis has been the difference, Chris, and he was outstanding, up to 86 yards now and a touchdown. Halifax does not have an answer for the inside running game of Aubrey Ellis and the Mustangs.
Well, exactly right, and really eating up some clock here. It was the Mustangs on that drive in the first quarter. Ellis almost up to 100 yards already. First quarter of the game, wearing down that Halifax defense. They're going to have to come up with a solution how they want to try to negate Ellis in that interior run.
Well, the Mustangs getting it done with that run. The Harbour Hawks need some adjustments as the ball falls off the tee twice for George. George will have some assistance here on this kickoff. And deep, ready to receive the ball for the Harbour Hawks is Melnick.
Kickoffs can be dangerous. You've only got 10 defenders here on the field with lots of room.
And here's Melnick, who had a good-looking return to start the game. Melnick breaks a tackle, another tackle, flag on the play. Melnick continued to dance. And he eluded the tackle, and excuse me, that's Jonah Williams says, I got that screwed up. My particular, as they have nameplates on the back, and we'll get it right here. This is kind of hard, and we got two discrepancies in the lineups that I have here. I was saying Jarrett Melnick, and no disrespect to Jonah Williams, and Williams, another standout at the AUS level for St. Francis Xavier.
We have a legal block on the return, number 7.
The Harbour Hawks.
10-yard penalty, first down.
Return by Williams.
So 30 seconds of running for nothing, really, for Jonah as that legal block negates that return. But setting up Micah Brown now deep in his own end.
So Brown will bring out the Harbour Hawks on their fourth drive. Inside handoff to Williams, and Williams pounds his way for 5 yards. So Williams, double duty here. Not only is he a returner, a defensive back, he's also a running back.
Well, just what you want to after running for 30 seconds here on your kickoff return. First play of the drive is an inside handoff, but a good solid 3 or 4 yard pickup there for Williams in that interior of that line.
Brown on second down now. He fires, and that's caught over the middle. And it looked like he initially had first down yardage, as the spot by the line judge looks like it's good for first down. That's an outstanding catch in traffic by Spencer Wells.
Ray Dunn signals to move the change here in the sticks. But again, quick pass here by Micah Brown. Bit of a sidearm throw. But looks like Spencer Wells able to haul that down. Wasn't taken to the ground, so nice catch there in some traffic.
Here's Brown. Brown fires downfield on the outside, and that's caught. That's a big gainer and knocked out of bounds. Huge pass downfield to number 88, Manuel Fisher.
And really, that's been there all game. This is the third time Fisher's been behind coverage here for the Mustangs in a bit of that quasi-zone. And you're going to see lots of room on the sideline for Fisher. He's taken out just about the 55-yard line, the 45-yard line here in Mustang territory. Tackled there by Guy Zamingwe.
So Zamingwe able to make up ground after Fisher got behind his initial man. And it looked like it might have been a zone coverage there, Chris, as a misassignment was probably the defensive back, the halfback, not able to slide over and lock down Fisher, escaping downfield.
Well, it looks a bit like a bit of a cut coverage where the corner was sitting short, hoping that the halfback was able to cover over top. But again, once that receiver released downfield, too big of a cushion there for Micah Brown to float that pass in there nicely before the defender could get over and cover it.
First down for Halifax. Brown 4 of 8 for 64 yards. Inside handoff to Williams. And Williams once again pounds his way for 4 yards.
You're going to see here inside that 3-man line here for the Harbour Hawks. Good tackle there, slowing him down. Looks like 33 there, Oak. Getting a hand on Williams to slow him down.
So Oak with his second tackle for the Mustangs. Inside handoff for States. States breaks a tackle and turns his shoulders downfield, and he'll pick up a first down, a gain of 7, and that's a good-looking play there by Halifax.
Well, I like this here, that jet sweep designed to go outside the numbers. Quick decision there by Deshaun States. He cuts it upfield and gains a good 7-8 yards here on that design sweep, but great recognition there by States to turn that upfield and get as many yards as he could.
And Zemenge on the tackle. Williams runs right into Oak as Williams picks up a gain of 3, but a huge collision in between the tackles between Oak and Williams.
Like I said, not a whole lot of easy sledding inside there for the Harbour Hawks, especially with the wheels that Williams has. You'd think they'd be looking to use the edges a little bit more and get outside of that Mustang defense. It's a lot better when you're getting tackled by a safety or a DB than a linebacker or a D lineman.
Here's Brown. He fires downfield, and that's dropped by Wells, but closing real quick. And distracting him was Zach Terrio.
You're going to see here Micah Brown in the gun. Alec Pellerin upfield. Good move on Jonah Williams in pass protecting for the Harbour Hawks. That's the last thing you want as a running back, is to see a free rushing D-end that you've got to contend with here. But nice pass by Micah Brown. Really should have been caught by the receiver.
Inside handoff to Williams. Williams gets into the second level, and Williams picks up first down yardage. So Jonah Williams, the smaller back from Alex Cameron, starting to move the chains here, and that was an outstanding play at the line of scrimmage by Williams.
Well, that's really where I think Williams is going to be a little more effective, getting outside that D end and that D line here for the Mustangs. And now inside the red zone here are the Harbour Hawks looking to tie this game up against the Moncton Mustangs.
So that was an outstanding run and a touchdown saving tackle by Bobby McIntyre. Brown wide open downfield, and touchdown is Fisher. So once again, Fisher getting behind the Mustangs defensive backfield, and a good-looking strike by Micah Brown, and he made it look easy.
And that's probably the 4th time that same coverage has been beat here by the Harbour Hawks. You're going to see the corner sort of sit flat, and that halfback or safety not getting up over top here to pick up Fisher. So not sure if that's a blown coverage or if that's how it was designed. But you're going to see here nobody covering Fisher in the white jersey. So the Mustangs are going to have a little conversation with their DBs when they get back to the sideline to figure out how they're going to cover off here Micah Brown and that high-powered arm. Again, he's thrown some nice balls short, pick up some first downs when he's had to, but this long bomb has been there 4 times for him this game.
As Robbie Holland gets it through the uprights, a good catch by the holder in Jonah Williams.
Yep.
Spencer Wells. And we're all tied up here with 10:43 remaining in the second quarter. Harbour Hawks responding after going down 7-0 on that impressive drive by Aubrey Ellis in between the tackles in the running game.
Well, really big stop. Like I said, Ellis coming out here and eating so much clock in that first quarter. That was a big answer by the Harbour Hawks to come up and tie that game out and give their defense a bit of a rest, who, like I said, had been sort of eaten up here by that inside run and the Moncton Mustangs basically all first quarter.
So Brown, who went 3 for 4 for 55 yards and a touchdown on that drive, gets this game back on even terms. Holland now with the kickoff for the Harbour Hawks. That's short, and that's scooped up, and he is met immediately. And that was number 91, Felix LeBlanc. LeBlanc did an outstanding job to hang on to that ball as it looked at a short kickoff there, an onside type kickoff by the Harbour Hawks.
Not sure if he intended to go onside there to pooch that. Don't mind the call there. I think it could have been executed a lot better for the Harbour Hawks in this case, but again, trying to give their defense a bit of a breather. But now the Mustangs set up on their side of midfield here already, with Aubrey Ellis looking to add to their his totals here for the day.
And Dallas Hall on the tackle there. And that's a good-looking scamper for a first down yardage. Pick up about, just a little short. Came up short, about 9 yards.
There's Blouin, nice little slot sweep here. Again, good ball protection, like him covering up there at the end. Both hands on the ball. Wanted to signal for the first down, but realized he was just about a half-yard short. But nice gain on first down there for the Mustangs, moving the ball deeper into Halifax territory.
9-yard gain for Blouin. Inside handoff, Ellis on second down. He'll pick up first down yardage. And once again, Aubrey Ellis falling forward for a gain of 4.
You're going to see here number 92, or that's 82 for the Mustangs. Joseph Ball, again, sort of a bit of a fold block coming in there from that sort of wing position, getting up into the interior of that line and leading Ellis up into the inside, setting up second down.
Ellis again off the left side, and he is brought down just over the line of scrimmage as he tried to make his way. He didn't have anything inside, but he bounced it out to the left and didn't find much there.
It's a nice tackle there. Big man in space. So number 40 there, looks like Jared Holland able to come in and wrap up Ellis on first down, negating him to just a gain of about 1.5 yards.
So second down and 8 for the Mustangs. Comfort downfield finds his man, and that's a good-looking pitch and catch for first down yardage as number 2 hauls it in. Green, excuse me. That's number 9, Leslie Green downfield. Green on his first catch of the afternoon. So as you go along for the Mustangs, you continue to pound that ball up inside, Chris. You're going to have those opportunities to fire it downfield and play action.
Well, exactly right. There's such a big space here between your linebackers and your safety and DBs, halfbacks, because you're biting up so quickly on that run as they go back to the outside with Ellis.
Ellis once again. Ellis finding space. Ellis with the stiff arm. Ellis continuing to get downfield, and that's a good open field tackle by Devin Taylor as he brought down Ellis for a gain of 4.
I like the speed here. They string him out. You want that running back. You want his shoulders to basically go into the sideline. Right now, as you see him here, good stiff arm. But once your shoulders are facing the sideline, that's a good tackle there by Halifax. I like their speed in the secondary, being able to flow to the ball. But my question is going to be, Moncton fielding 50 players here. A lot of Halifax going both ways. Let's see how tired they get here in this drive.
Comfort getting to the line of scrimmage. Comfort now will get across the line of scrimmage, and he is brought down by Jonah Williams after a limited gain of 2 on second down.
Nice form tackle there, but again, Comfort, good athlete in his own right, and once he tucks the ball, he's looking to pick up some positive yardage.
And that was a good close there by Jonah Williams coming from his safety position.
That's right. So still bringing up a third down here for the Mustangs. They're in red zone territory. Don't be surprised if they go back to the inside run here with Ellis.
Back-to-back drives threatening in the red zone are the Stangs looking to take the lead.
Big split here off the left side.
Comfort scrambles, fires outside the Green. Green can't pull it in. As if Green was able to pull that one down, he would have had first down yardage. But that's incomplete, and that brings up fourth down. So decision time for head coach Jason Tess and the Mustangs.
And Halifax rushing 4. Good job there by Comfort. Had Green open in the flat. A little bit high, probably more than he'd like, going to his offhand side here for Comfort. But again, they're still going to come away with points here, hopefully if they convert this field goal.
So the drive stalls temporarily here. It'll be fourth down. Field goal try as George will come on to try to nail this one down from about 13 yards out. It's up and it's good. So 3 points for the Mustangs on this drive in the second quarter after Green unable to pull down that first down throw by Comfort, but it's better to get 3 than none in this type of game as they're going back and forth here as the scoring starting to pick up in the second quarter, Chris.
And really, that's got to be a win for the Halifax defense, especially given their starting point here for the Mustangs, starting basically on their side of midfield after the failed onside kick, and really holding that run game to the Mustangs to 3 points here on a short field. Big win for that Halifax defense. Now they're going to hope their offense can come out and put up a long drive here to give them a bit of a breather and hopefully get down and recoup those points.
So 10-7 is the score. The defending McIntyre Cup champions, the Moncton Mustangs, with the lead here with 6:31 remaining in the second quarter, up against the upstart Halifax Harbour Hawks. Onside kick, Colley scoops it up. Colley retrieves his field there. That good tackle in the open field. Was unable to break the first initial tackle is Colley, and he's brought down.
And really not a bad strategy, like you said, where there's only 10 men on the field with a lot of grass to cover. Instead of kicking it to your return guys, kick it to an up back, a blocker, and hopefully you can get down and cover him quicker than giving up a big return to a speedy receiver who's designed to return a kick here in that return. So nice strategy here by Moncton. They're going to look to see if they can rest on their defense here and come up with a big stop here against Micah Brown and the Halifax Harbour Hawks.
So Brown will bring out the Harbour Hawks for first down, scrimmaging from their own 43-yard line. So good field position for Halifax. Brown fires downfield, and a miscommunication between him and the receiver, as it looked like number 7, Andre Brady, thought it was a run instead of a pass play.
Well, yeah, didn't quite get his head around expecting that pass. May have been a bit of a read option here inside with Williams, where Brown may have just pulled that ball out of Williams' belly and decided to air it out. But a bit of a miscommunication there, but Brown has been pretty accurate with those inside throws all afternoon.
6 for 10 to be exact is Brown for 80 yards and a touchdown. On second down, here's Cameron, and he is met behind the line of scrimmage. So once again, the great penetration with the forefront of the Mustangs getting Cameron in the backfield.
Well, I think that Moncton's D-line has proven that you're not going to run inside here for very effectively against that D-line, especially with the misdirection end around. Number 34 takes a bit of a pound in here. Alex Cameron trying to run in that interior of the Moncton line between Dunstan and Oak and Pellerin. It's going to be a long day.
So a loss of 2 for Cameron brings up 3rd and 11 for the Harbour Hawks. Brown downfield, and that's completed to Fisher. Fisher breaks a tackle, and it looks like he might be a yard short of the first down. So once again, Micah Brown going to Fisher.
At this point here, I'd be going to Fisher every play. Sure, and the receiver, even almost tipped here by his own number 1. Basically, Deshaun States almost takes that pass away from Fisher. But nice quick pass there by Brown. Fisher able to pick up close to first down yardage. Looks like they're going to measure here on the far side of the field.
Yeah, they're going to take a look, as it looks like from our vantage point here up in the booth, they might be about a yard and a half short of that first down yardage, or actually half a yard by the way it looks like.
Looks like he's got to get just to the 53, and like you said, they look to be about half a yard short.
So they will measure here. We'll have a measurement to be exact and give an opportunity for Micah Brown to reset his troops here on this all-important 4th down coming up.
But at this point here, the offensive right here, the left side of that defense for the Mustangs, if I'm Micah Brown, I'm going to be looking to Fisher here pretty much every snap until they're able to shut him down, especially with the deep playability that he's had and the coverage that he's been getting, a bit of coverage over there until they roll somebody over top to take that away from you and possibly open up a little bit more running room inside. I'm going to be looking to Mr. Fisher here pretty much on every snap. You're going to see Ray Dunn here resetting the ball.
So he'll put it down, and a big play coming up for Halifax and Moncton. Harbour Hawks trailing 10-7. All on the strength of a good-looking drive in the second quarter. Their second drive for the Mustangs ended up in a field goal by George. A 16-yard field goal by George to give the Mustangs a lead. So 4th down. Harbour Hawks gambling as Brown brings them up.
Interesting to see if they can gain any traction on that D-line here from Moncton. They got 4 down linemen.
4 linemen in the box for the Mustangs.
Every gap is covered.
Hard snap. Cameron, and he will not get it. Great penetration.
Zach Terrio.
And coming up with the play in the backfield, the initial contact was Terrio. Tripped up Cameron, and Cameron's going to be short.
You're going to see here, basically, you've got 4 down linemen against 3 from Halifax. There's going to be 1 gap that's uncovered. And Terrio able to penetrate.
And he came untouched.
Yeah, cut him down in the backfield before he even gets a chance to get to the line of scrimmage.
So Halifax gambling on 4th down, unable to get it done with 4:28 remaining in the second quarter. And Chris, the Mustangs with 4 down linemen, the Harbour Hawks went with 3. So they didn't bring in a tight end, or they didn't even bring in a slot back receiver to account for Terrio, who was free, and he made that initial play in the backfield.
Well, that's both your A gaps are covered, your outside your tackles are covered, so really nowhere to go there for Cameron. But again, I'd like to see Halifax sort of work the edge a little more here with that run game if they want to be successful with it. But now Comfort's starting to air out here a little bit as well
Starting to open it
Moncton.
up. So that play-action play on 1st down bar, Dan Comfort completed to Blue Ann. And once again, the Mustangs are right back into Halifax's territory with relative ease after that great positioning off that defensive play by Terrio. Ellis downfield. Ellis finally wrapped up after 1st down yardage, and that's a gain of 15 more yards for Ellis. Ellis continuing the pound, and he's over at the century mark.
Well, like you said, I mean, Ellis untouched here through, until you get to the secondary. Just the pad in the stats here at this point. Great job there, like you said. That front four here for the Mustangs with St. Germain playing a bit of that wing back or sort of quasi fullback here, basically on the line, allowing Comfort to and Ellis here to really be untouched here going through the line of scrimmage.
So jet sweep is snuffed out by Miles as Blue Ann was wrapped up behind the offensive backfield.
Again, second time they've run that here today. First time very successful for about 9 yards, but Halifax, again, noticing that reverse motion and able to identify it here in the backfield.
Great penetration by number 24 of the Harbour Hawks, Grant Miles. And it looks like we might have a man down for Halifax. Jonah Williams will go off the field under his own strength. And a stoppage in play, and Deshaun States comes in for him with 2:58 remaining, trailing by 3.
It's not who you want to see going off the field for Halifax, who with a bit of a limp.
Yeah, Jonah Williams has been outstanding in this first half.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, returning kicks, playing offense and defense here, and that's one thing that's going to come into effect, I think, in the second half. Halifax probably fielding about 28 to 30 players, a lot of whom are playing both ways. Moncton's 50 deep on the sideline, so lots of reserves here for the Mustangs if injuries do creep up.
On 2nd down and wrapped up as Comfort was able to fire that one downfield into the flats for number 84, and that's Adam Shea. Shea with his first reception of the afternoon. That's a good gain for about 4 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 12.
Yeah, big target for Comfort. Shea able to bring that pass in.
So the 3-minute warning.
To the half.
Comfort downfield looking for Green. Green can't pull it in. That was a good looking play as Green looked like he might have had a step on Taylor there on that go route.
Well, you're going to see Green here, lots of speed on the outside. Comfort puts it up for him, and you're going to see on the go route going to the end zone, fading a bit here to the corner. Not a lot of room over top, so Comfort led him a bit to the sideline. Green just unable to come up with that pass. Moncton's got a bit of a tell here too. You can tell when they're going to be in a passing situation just with their line splits up front, looking to negate that outside pass rush. So maybe we'll look into that here a little later on into the game.
So 4th down coming up and a long field goal, about 35 yards to be exact for George. Snap is not handled clean. Got to try to get the first down, and snuffing it out are the Harbour Hawks. So a huge play defensively for Halifax after the botch hold by the Mustangs.
Well, somebody must be praying on the Harbour Hawks bench, because really to come away from this drive with no points by the Mustangs after really a failed fourth down conversion here for the Harbour Hawks in that previous drive, which was far too short for what their defense needed for a breather. But another big stop, 2 in a row here for that defense at the end of almost the end of the half here now, to keep this score here to a 10-7 lead for the Mustangs. Really, the Mustangs have left probably about 14 points on the field here so far.
So the backup quarterback, David Petrie, unable to snag that snap. Brown will bring back out the Harbour Hawks. States with the quick fire from Brown, and he'll gain about 7 on the play, or 6, excuse me. And that'll bring up 2nd down, as the clock will continue to move on completed passes inbounds under the 3 minutes. 2:22 remaining exactly in this second quarter. So 2nd down and 4 for Halifax.
Nice completion there on first to get Brown rolling here in this drive.
Cameron, he's wrapped up once again in the offensive backfield. Great penetration again by Ben Dunstan. Dunstan is having outstanding first half for the Mustangs.
Well, just look at the push inside here by Dunstan. Really, I mean, great, just the leverage he has. Long-armed individual.
Great penetration.
Lots of push. He's 3 yards in the backfield before Brown can even hand that ball off, and nowhere to go for number 34 for Halifax.
Brown now on 3rd. Brown trying to get to the sticks. Brown's got the first down. Brown in open field, and he's knocked out of bounds at the Mustangs' 37-yard line.
And that's what Brown brings to your offense right here. Nothing available downfield, and he turns nothing into about 35 yards for the Harbour Hawks as he tiptoes the sideline. Once he bails out here to his weak side, again, great rush by Moncton, but really no secondary flow from any linebackers or halfbacks who are downfield in coverage.
And he's finally knocked out of bounds as the Mustangs also dodged a bullet there. It looked like there was a face mask on Brown on that attempt on the edge of the tackle. So Brown will set back up. He'll go downfield, and that's tipped in by Oak. So good defensive play by Andrew Oak, knocking it down.
Nice
for
drop
the attendant
there.
Receiver.
Exactly. Bissier linebacker dropping back into coverage. Brown looking to hit one of those crossers, quick hitters. Oak getting the big mid up there to knock that away. But I like with 34 here, Cameron in the backfield for Halifax. Very good at pass protection, so giving Brown here a little more time in the pocket.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Brown goes downfield, and that is dropped by Taylor. Excuse me, Thomas. Josh Thomas once again unable to come up with that pass from Brown. He was wide open as he was able to turn the corner on that.
And a nice pass here by Brown. You're going to see Cameron pick up Dunstan inside on that pass rush. Thomas basically working into the middle of the field. Good separation. Really should have had that catch.
Good separation on that post route, and that's the second drop of the afternoon for Josh Thomas. So 3rd and 10. Jet sweep to Wells, and that's snuffed out by Dunstan. Again, another tackle for loss for Ben Dunstan. That's number 4.
Well, just a huge part. You don't know how important it is for a defense to control the middle of the football field, and Dunstan right now is just owning Rocky Stone Field at this point, as nobody's been able to contain him either with a down block or a double team at this point. Again, I mean, 3 yards deep in the backfield to sniff out that jet sweep with ease and really put Halifax in a 4th and 14 position here, you know, with Hail Mary's chance to try to put some points up here before half.
Yeah, Jarrett, and it looks like number 67 for the Harbour Hawks, Brian McEachran, is got his hands full on the edge, trying to block Ben Dunstan. him along with number 58 in the middle, Joe Morgan, are having their difficulties handling Ben Dunstan, and that's probably a major adjustment that Halifax is probably going to speak to in that halftime break with about a minute 29 remaining.
Well, that's the thing for Halifax. I mean, personnel is going to be a bit of an issue with who they have on the bench to bring in, but you're going to have to look at either doubling Dunstan inside and either having an H-back or a receiver come in and pick up that D end because right now Dunstan is just manhandling the interior of that offensive line for the Harbour Hawks.
So a timeout called by, and it looks like, Halifax. They'll talk it over here with 4th and about 15 coming up. So a big play for the Mustangs.
It's like about a minute 29 left or so here, minute 34, sorry, to go to halftime. So big play here for the Harbour Hawks, 4th and 14.
Brown stumbles. Brown trips and falls. So Brown losing his footing. And let's hope that Brown is okay. It looked like he might have
injury, yeah.
Yeah, might have scuffed his ankle there. Might have actually twisted his ankle on that second.
We're going to have a look at it here. As he goes to take off, he plants. Ooh, let's hope that's not Achilles as he is still down on the field.
Yeah,
and
it's not looking good right now as Brown is being assisted here from the medical staff from the Harbour Hawks.
When he went to plant that right foot.
And it looks like they're actually testing that area, in that Achilles area.
Yeah, they're testing the back of the heel. And as soon as you see that that foot, basically, he overplants. When you see this here, watch his right foot. He goes to take off right here. Bing. And he feels it. That next step, you could tell he didn't.
Yeah, he
didn't have anything.
Here.
He had room to run for 20 yards there, and he went down immediately. And that's going to be unfortunate if it is an Achilles injury for Micah Brown.
So Brown down, and Cameron and Wells, his teammates, come on to help him off. So Brown not unable to get off the field under his own strength. And let's just hope that Brown is okay, and he can't even put any type of pressure on that right ankle. Oh, you can just see how it buckled there. It just doesn't have enough.
And he goes for it right away once he hits to the ground.
That's very unfortunate.
And the thing is here Brown. Too, I mean, these aren't professional athletes. These
Absolutely
guys have
not.
to show up Monday for work.
Yes.
And unfortunately, this is going to be probably, if it is an Achilles injury, not only season-ending but can be career-altering as well for Brown, who's really been a standout here for their Harbour Hawks.
Comfort now, and Ellis is met in the hole and then wrapped up and brought down by number 6, Josh Curvella.
There's a good stick in the hole by Curvella there. Like I said, for the Harbour Hawks, they've been, instead of having that linebacker sit back waiting for St. Germain to get up to second level, he shoots the gap. Boom. Good stick in the hole, and that's really how the only way you're going to shut down Ellis is getting him behind the line of scrimmage.
Comfort fires downfield on the outside, and that's picked up. First down yardage by number 88, and that is Cameron Morley.
Nice route there by Morley, defender number 21 for Halifax. Not in your picture at this point. He was on the ground. I don't know if there was a bit of a push-off or if he slipped in coverage. But again, nice catch there by Morley, securing the first down here for.
And almost picked off downfield in the middle of the field as Colley unable to corral that pass by Comfort. As Comfort was trying to hit a wide open in the middle of the field, Adam Shea.
Well, again, that's how big that stick was on Ellis on first down, where now Moncton looking to go to the air here a little bit, maybe where they're not as comfortable before the end of half, trying to put some points on the board. And again, this secondary here for the Harbour Hawks, tough to throw into.
Stangs up 3 with a minute 4 remaining. Again, Morley, and he's wrapped up and brought down by States and thrown out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock. But it'll be third down and about 6 for the Mustangs.
Good job here by Comfort just to get this ball off as he slips a bit here himself in the pocket. But able to get that out to Morley. Nice job there by number 1 for
Deshaun States. The state's closing and wrapping up on Morley as he's matched up one-on-one with Morley on the right side here.
Wanted to take away that sideline from Morley.
So Comfort on third down. Ellis in the defensive backfield. Ellis breaking free, and Ellis brought down after a gain of about 23 yards.
That's a nice hitter here by the Mustangs. Going back there, you're going to see a crack black block. There, St. Germain getting up to that linebacker position and really sealing off that hole where your linebacker can't fill that gap.
Comfort fires, almost intercepted once again through the hands of the intended receiver. Unable to bring that down was Morley. So you can see Comfort is very comfortable with Morley and Shea as he's continuing to try to go to work here on the short side, Chris.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Comfort really looking to Morley as his favorite target at this point. He's got Green on the other side, the wide side of the field, but he's looking to feed Morley on the short side as much as he can. But at this point, Ellis already out of the backfield.
Blitz coming. Ellis unable to get by Cravella, and he's into the open field for another first down. And in the red zone, ready to strike with 41 seconds are the Mustangs. That was a good-looking pass downfield by Comfort as the defender was barreling down on him, and he stood in there, and he was able to fire it downfield.
A little Texas route by Ellis on that play.
Green breaks the tackle. Green gets to the 5-yard line.
Good job there by Green securing that catch.
Green, who leads the team in yardage in receiving last week. 3 catches for 91 yards and a touchdown, along with Cameron Morley, who also had 3 catches for 48 yards and a touchdown. Comfort again, and incomplete. So he tried to hit number 7 there, Blouin. Blouin unable to pull it in, so another opportunity at the 5-yard line. So we're second and goal for the Mustangs with 21.1 seconds left. If they're going to look to pass the ball, they can take their time and use pretty much the clock. But Halifax doing a good job trying to save a little time and try to regroup and adjust. Calls timeout.
No, smart move by Halifax. Again, give their defense a bit of a breather here. They've been on the field most of the first half. That last pass there, almost the play action was good, but really a low throw for Blouin. Really tough to come up with, but probably a smart move by Comfort, keeping it out of the danger zone, having it tipped or picked off by a defender at the goal line. So, in essence, throwing it away at the goal line.
So a timeout on the field called by the Harbour Hawks, as they will try to make some adjustments here and limit the Mustangs to a 3-point try with 21.1 seconds remaining in the second quarter, trailing by 3. Comfort will bring out the Mustangs. Comfort had an outstanding game last weekend as he was throwing the ball all over the yard in that victory versus St. John's.
St. John,
excuse me. Ellis wrapped up at the 1. That was a touchdown saving tackle by number 25, Jordan Forrest, for Halifax.
And good push there by Halifax. Penetration not able to take Ellis down in the backfield.
But on the ensuing play, a touchdown, a quarterback sneak by Comfort. And that'll put the lead up to 9 with the 10th point coming up.
And a big score here for Moncton right before half. They're going to get the ball after halftime as well.
Great penetration up front by the big men once again, Chris, and that's been the difference in the trenches between these two teams, the difference of this lead here for the Mustangs going into halftime.
Well, that's the thing. Moncton has controlled the line of scrimmage here on both sides of the ball, and that O-line really giving a big push here for Comfort and Ellis all game.
And George puts that through the uprights, and the lead is 10 now for the Mustangs heading into halftime with 14.1 seconds remaining.
Now, a dead giveaway is when you do see quarterback under center for QB sneak. Again, Halifax stacking the box, but just not enough defenders in there to negate comfort going off the left side here
Yeah,
for the touchdown.
Great push with the 4-man front for the Mustangs. And decision time here for Jason Terrace and the Mustangs. Do they kick it deep to Williams and give him an opportunity along with Brady, then will return for Halifax, or they kick that short kick knowing that they probably won't see Micah Brown. Brown being attended to by the medical staff of both teams on the sidelines. It looked like he had that right ankle area wrapped with some ice. And let's hope that Brown's okay. Short kick. And that's immediately snagged by number 9, Dallas Hall, and he goes right to the ground. So let's see who comes out at pivot for Halifax. And it looks like it might be number 13, Josh Thomas. No, let's check. Is it still trying to see who's going to be, because it doesn't look like I have anybody here as a backup quarterback on the program. And the only quarterback listed is number 3, Micah Brown. And it looks like it's going to be Jonah Williams. Not surprised. Jonah Williams probably go to a wildcat situation here between him and Cameron.
That's what I was basically going to look at, is you're going to be direct snapping basically to your tailback.
And he's wrapped up by number 50, Blake Alain, behind the line of scrimmage. So that wildcat is snuffed out.
Well, not the greatest lead block here by your fullback in the wildcat, as you see him run inside, and really 2 guys for Halifax not blocking anybody in that play. So not the best play design for Halifax, but at the same time, you might see a bit of sandlot football here where I don't think they may have a backup quarterback with all the set plays that Micah Brown had running that offense.
So 2nd and long coming up.
There'll be a lot of check with me from the huddle to see what route you're running or who you're blocking.
Williams looking to pass, and he is wrapped up, stacked up as all 4 defenders from the Mustangs are in the offensive backfield, and Williams had no chance on this opportunity here, Chris.
Well, they bring a blitz inside with Oak, and
Oak got there early, blew up Cameron, and then made the tackle. So that'll do it. After 30 minutes here at Rocking Stone Field, the Mustangs lead it 17-7. Stay with us. You are watching Maritime Football League action here on Rogers TV. Welcome back to field level here at Rocking Stone Field, Maritime Football League action. Mustangs leading 17-7 after 30 minutes here in Moncton in game number 2. And I'm here with head coach of the Mustangs, Jason Terry. Jason, outstanding half for you guys. You're up by 10, but you got to be happy with that running game. Aubrey Ellis has been absolutely magnificent, over 100 yards running in between the tackles. Talk a little bit about your front 3.
Our 3 offensive linemen are fantastic players. A lot of leadership, a lot of character, a lot of experience. And, they get on their man and they just drive and they open up so much space for Aubrey. It's awesome to watch and see.
Now, Halifax's quarterback went down, Micah Brown, with an injury. Looks like he won't come back. He was giving you fits there in that second quarter as he was able to get downfield with the passing game. Talk a little bit about the adjustments now in the second half without Brown going forward.
Yeah, well, we're not familiar with the quarterback skills of the guy who they're putting in right now. So right now we're approaching it as if it's a new game and it's unpredictable. So, we're going to... we know they have a good passing game, so we're going to continue with that game plan. But, we're going to watch and see, their strengths and their weaknesses and hopefully be able to, create opportunities on what they do.
And McIntyre Cup number 16 last season, you guys were able to get it done in your championship, winning your first championship as a head coach, coming over from a player, winning several championships, 5 to be exact, and picking up your 6th franchise championship. Speak a little bit about that championship and how special it was.
Yeah, it was really special, especially the way that we were able to do it so quickly. At 2015, we really struggled. The team struggled to even with a forfeit even that year, and then to come in and put a new structure in place and see the guys buy into it, and we did it as a great team, and then there were some guys who had to step back in some of their roles, and some other guys who came in that we saw that they had a lot of potential and a lot of skill, and it took a lot of guys to just give in to team concept and forget about the individual, and we did it, and that was really special to see, to be able to do that as a group and for each other.
And you guys had some lean years where John ran the 4 straight championships. Before you won that championship, you spoke a little bit about the 2015, how you guys were able to rebound. You had a forfeit. This is a proud program, Moncton is, and you've played against me, and I know how proud this program has been. Speak a little bit about how do you attribute to the rebound of the program and where it's going now?
What we really like and what we're seeing right now is we're able to attract young studs coming out of high school and even current AUS guys, and that's something that we really struggled to do it before when we were winning the championships back 2007 to 2010, is that we kept with the same group of guys, and everybody got old at the same time, and at this point we're able to cycle younger guys in and develop, and I think that's going to be a recipe for success in the long term.
Well, Coach, I'll let you get back to your team and make your adjustments. Good luck the rest of the way and the rest of the season.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
That was head coach Jason Terrace of the Moncton Mustangs, and we're going to continue here, so stay with us. You're watching the Maritime Football League action here on Rogers TV. Welcome back to Rocking Stone Field in Moncton, New Brunswick for the continuing coverage of the Maritime Football League action with Chris Corey, Vince Williams on hand. We're just about ready to start the second half. The Mustangs with a 10-point lead, and they were impressive in that second quarter running the football, Chris, and it was just a runaway freight train that Halifax was unable to plug.
Well, that's exactly right. Moncton has controlled the line of scrimmage here, both offensively and defensively, that whole first half. And now Halifax is going to be up against it as Moncton gets the ball first here to open the second half of the game. And really no Micah Brown here coming out to take the ball here for them in the first drive here, as he's still being carted to the sideline. Yeah, Micah Brown with it looks like an apparent ruptured right Achilles, but Brown's still here in spirit as McIntyre was able to field that kickoff by Holland. Great field position for the Mustangs. Once again, the field position has been tilted in the favor of the Mustangs all afternoon. Well, especially a couple drives last half. Some short kicks here by both teams, but again, back to what works for you. That's Audrey Ellis between the tackles here for the Mustangs, picking up a good 8 yards on first down. Ellis, who was outstanding in the first 30 minutes of this game, unofficial, went for about 137 yards, as we don't have the benefit of an associate producer to give us all these numbers in this booth, but he was outstanding between the tackles, and he was getting it done, ripping off yardage in chunks. And that pass is incomplete by Comfort, looking for number 84, Shea. Shea unable to haul that one in as he had a defender draped over his left shoulder. Lucky break here for the Harbour Hawks. Again, play action by Comfort. Had Shea, again, I think he threw that maybe a little low as he saw number 25 from Halifax creeping in from that back corner. So an opportunity here, well, I mean, a little bit of a crack of an opportunity to try to swing the momentum for Halifax. Third and short, Ellis, left side. Ellis breaks into the open field, and finally brought down is Ellis after a gain of about 11 yards as Jordan Forrest, coming from the opposite side of the field in his halfback position,
getting a tackle.
Well, again, great job there, sealing the edge. St. Germain, that sort of wing back here, the fourth man on that offensive line here for the Mustangs, sealing that D end, kicking out the outside DB, coming in to try to make a tackle on Ellis, and Ellis able to pick up another big chunk of yards here on third down, resetting the chains.
Well, I tell you, Lorette, Melanson, and Kinsman have been outstanding and picked off and going the other way, though, with the momentum. Getting into the open field, Comfort, last man to try to make the tackle. Good block by Taylor. He got blown up, and that is a pick six by Nate Adams. Adams with the explosive play for the Harbour Hawks. So if you can't do it on offense, do it on defense.
A huge play for the Harbour Hawks. Huge pick six for Adams, taking this the other way. And really you have to question a bit of the play call, where if you're Moncton, you know Micah Brown is hurt and not coming back the second half. You have a 10-point lead. Nobody stopped Ellis all game. Why do you even go to the air at this point? But that's the only place Halifax could really hurt you, and they did it in a big way. 6 points on the board here for the Harbour Hawks to start off this second half, and they're right back in the game.
And that was Nate Adams. Adams, number 41, is a teammate of Dan Comfort at the University of Mount Allison. So teammates going after each other, and I don't believe we even seen Adams in that first half. Snap is bumbled there by Wells, so the extra point's no good. Attempt by Holland. But on a very explosive play to start this third quarter and shift the momentum for the Harbour Hawks with that pick six for Adams.
Well, a huge play, especially where Moncton scoring just before the end of half and getting the ball after half as well, with the chance to really extend their lead, which they looked to do as Ellis basically was picking up 8 to 12 yards a carry. Really a gift for the Harbour Hawks to get 6 points, in this case, back on the board, bring this back to a one-score game. With still lots of fight left here, with a quarter and a half to go here in this game.
Lots of football remaining in this first matchup between these two teams. Both of these teams coming in this afternoon's action at 1-0. Last weekend, the Moncton Mustangs were able to defeat the St. John, knocking them off, the Wanderers, that is 34-33. And another onside kick scooped by McIntyre. He gains downfield, and he'll get at the midfield stripe. So great field position once again, and we got a flag on the play. Might be offside on the kicking team.
May not have even gone 10 yards.
Barely went 10 yards as McIntyre got about 4 yards. But there looked like an offside call by the referee, the headman Ray Dunn. They'll decline that penalty, and it'll be
first down.
And there's the official signal there by Ray Dunn, the headman this afternoon here at Rocky Stone Field.
Maybe question that call a little bit, where you just get a huge play, a touchdown going the other way for Halifax, not even set up at the line of scrimmage to defend that run by Aubrey Ellis.
Yeah, Ellis on the right side. Tempers flare, a crowd ensues after, and the flags come out. That usually happens. Either words or physicality is the reason that one came out.
Gotta love the passion, but you gotta play smart here as well, as there's 3 flags on the field.
Yes.
Maybe a little after the whistle activity. But again,
let's just wait for the official call here by Dunn. It's a conference between the officials to figure out, looks like there's some motioning of pushing. But getting back to the game here, 4-point lead for the Mustangs, and you mentioned it. Halifax really probably would have been better to kick that one deep, take their chances on their return team, and try to pin the Mustangs in their own zone and not give them this great field position.
We have unnecessary roughness on number 52 Black, and we have unnecessary roughness on 25 White. It's going to be second down.
So they're offsetting penalties, unnecessary roughness on the Mustangs and the Harbour Hawks. So they're offset, and we'll go to second down here as Comfort will bring out the Mustangs here, looking to answer that pick six by Adams.
well, again, but just the field position here for the Mustangs, getting the ball at midfield here off that kickoff, really putting that Halifax defense in a precarious spot.
Ellis now off the left side. Ellis into the defensive backfield of Halifax, and he's brought down by Colley. but Ellis rips off another 15 yards as Ellis is up to 166 yards rushing on the afternoon and counting. After that pick six, you might think that head coach Jason Terrace is going to continue to pound the football until Halifax has an answer for it.
Well, at this point here, how can you not? Moncton has controlled the line of scrimmage here. I mean, the big hoggies up front with that four-man line, really just opening holes here for Ellis at will.
Ellis again falls forward for a gain about 6. He's continuing to rack up the yardage, is Aubrey Ellis.
Not only is he continuing to rack up the yardage, but he is really tiring out this Halifax defense, who have been on the field here for the majority of this game. And like you said, a big play by number 41 on that pick six. But the big men inside on a warm day, you get tired out pretty good when that big offensive line is leaning on you all day.
Ellis, an all-star from 2017, continuing his outstanding play. Offside, and Comfort would just go down. And it looks like Robbie Holland was across the line of scrimmage before the snap of the ball.
Comfort happy to take the free 5 yards at this point. A lot of times if you had a passing play on, you take your shot deep, knowing that even if it's intercepted, you have that free 5 yards.
Offsides on the defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So 5-yard penalty on hauling on that offside will give the Mustangs another first down, and they're just knocking on the doorstep here in the red zone, but they continue to be very effective up front. Ellis carrying the football well over 100 and about 75 yards and counting, but it's the big man up front. Greg Kinsman, who's also an all-star that joined him on that offensive side of the football, has been outstanding up front, and they just haven't had an answer. Halifax, that is, in the front three at the line of scrimmage.
Well, and I really like what they did during that play, actually, getting the first down off the offside call, but changing their snap count. Defense now knowing that they can't stop Ellis, looking to bring a couple extra guys, changing your cadence. You were forcing them to go offside, taking the free 5 yards, and now really that blitz package, you're going to be hesitating coming to the line of scrimmage, not knowing what count they're going on.
Halifax needs to make some adjustments where they need to put about 5 guys in the box and maybe get that gap protection where they're just sending 5 guys every single play, because right now the Mustangs are not going to change their game plan and run and pass the football as they are running it right down their throat. And once again, Ellis up between the tackles, and he breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and continues on for a gain of about 9. So Ellis continuing to rack up the yards. Great block here, as you can see.
You're going to see right there, I think it's St. Germain, 89, as he basically a fold block. He comes around into that A gap, seals off that linebacker trying to flow to that gap, and really creates a lot of space there for Ellis. At this point, if I'm Halifax, walking your safety up in the box isn't going to do anything for you. I'll be looking to man up and bring in an extra backer to really shut down that inside run.
Ellis once again off the right side. He picks up the first down, and we'll have a first and goal here for the Mustangs, knocking on the doorstep, trying to answer that pick 6 are the Stangs. 10 yards to go, and Ellis is going to leave the game now, so checking in for him is number 1, and that is
Mark Crandall.
Crandall coming
the
in.
Hall of Famer, Crandall, with a touch inside.
Crandall picks up about 2 yards as he's brought down by number 24, Miles, as Crandall barrels his way and falls forward.
Great touch for the veteran. There's obviously no age maximum in the senior league here as Crandall.
No, you have your young guys. You have your young guys and you have your veterans, as head coach Jason Terrace touched on that in that halftime interview. You know, there's a mixture of, experience and inexperience. Crandall again off the right side. He's met by Holland in the backfield, and he falls forward for a gain of 3. So it'll be about 3rd down and 4 for the Mustangs, trying to answer.
Again, Crandall, a nice power back. You're going to see here good vision through that hole, spinning through that tackle, taking 3 defenders to bring him down. Nice hard run inside, and the guns look good in the new uniforms as well for Crandall.
And Crandall he'll step off the field, and Ellis will come in as he was greeted by his ex-teammate Jason Terrace at the sideline. Play action, fires, and that's knocked away by States, and States falls down, and it looks like it might be a face mask called on Morley. Good play action by Comfort, but an errant pass attempt as States was there step for step.
Well, here's where I don't like this play call. You've run the ball down the field, all drive, rolling out to your strong side. With that pass, that could have easily gone 6 the other way as well and had Halifax take a lead here, basically, even though you've controlled the ball in the line of scrimmage all game. So at this point here, I would just keep feeding the ball inside to your Hoggies. A little questionable on that play call where that almost, again, was intercepted by that very athletic secondary here for the Harbour Hawks.
Well, there's a few terms come to mind as we can get the official call here from Ray Dunn.
Unnecessary roughness, face mask on 88 black, 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
And right there, true to form.
Well, that's Morley almost defending.
Yeah, well, he turned into a defender as he was the intended receiver off of that play action. And a lot of terms come to mind. If it don't try to fix it if it ain't broke. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And don't be too cute if you're going to be, pounding the football. Stay with what is working. As Ellis was used as a decoy, and now George will try a 26-yard field goal. Snaps down, and George puts it in. So George continued to be good with that right foot. He's been outstanding this afternoon and very consistent when given the opportunity to kick the football.
Well, absolutely, and still a situation where you got to convert situational football. Good rush by Halifax off the edge. George able to get that ball through the uprights for, I believe, his second field goal attempt of the game.
Absolutely, it's 2 for 3.
2 for 3, and then
the second one was bumbled.
That's right, with the snap. But again, no fault of his own there on that kicking attempt. That's right. Yeah, there was couldn't remember if that was a punt or a field goal, but that is correct.
Yeah, George has been very consistent this afternoon.
He's got a good leg on him. Let's hope he kicks it off deeper than 12 yards here and trying to go onside.
So it's a 7-point lead for the Mustangs here in the third. 8:16 remaining. Halifax will receive. Wells in the middle of the field, and he falls forward for a gain about 11. So good field position here for the Harbour Hawks after that return.
Yeah, good coverage downfield there by the Mustangs. Hit squad getting down, wrapping up the Halifax runner here in the middle of the field. Again, keeping him contained, not letting him bust outside to the sideline for a big return and making a solid tackle.
So Jonah Williams will bring him up, as Williams showing his versatility this afternoon, a kick returner, a running back, a receiver, and a defensive back, and now he's the quarterback. Hands it off to Cameron, and Cameron falls forward for about a gain of 3, as Alex Cameron has been limited to short yards this afternoon, and he's been met either at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. So he finally gets a gain here.
Well, that's, again, good run by Cameron. No fault of his own. You can see the penetration by the D-line of the Moncton Mustangs here. They're 3 yards into the backfield, but Cameron able to get enough of a seam to get into the secondary here for 3 yards.
Play action as Williams will keep it, and he falls forward for a gain about 2, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 4.
And at this point here as a defense, you've got to be pretty happy where you're pretty much just playing run here on every snap. You're going to dare them to throw the ball at this point. So you can stack the box and pin your ears back because you're really just looking to pad your tackle totals here at this point and get penetration into the backfield.
Cameron again, and he is met at the line of scrimmage and blown up by number 33, Andrew Oak.
And again, we just talked about pinning your ears back as a defense, and that's exactly what he did. He filled his gap. Once you see Cameron try to get through here, decent blocking containing Dunstan, but again, Dunstan's 3 yards into the backfield.
Yeah, Dunstan coming in untouched, but an interesting storyline in this game as Andrew Oak joining the Mustangs today. Oak from the Halifax area, who is familiar with Halifax didn't have an opportunity. The roster was set. They didn't give him an opportunity to play with them. So Oak, in turn, joins the Mustangs, and he's been very good this afternoon. He's been one of the cogs in the wheel defensively for Moncton.
Well, absolutely. And there's a reason Halifax hasn't been able to gain any traction in the interior of this D line here. You're going to see a bit of a swing pass. Could be dangerous because this almost
not much form
pass.
there.
Not a whole lot of form, which is, again, why if you're Moncton, you're basically just playing run at this point.
Outstanding job there to cover up that potential lateral was Grant Miles off of that attempt of a pass by Jonah Williams, but they didn't kick it. Now great field position once again for the Mustangs. Ellis on first down. Ellis hurdles a man and barrels for 12 yards, and another first down for Ellis as he is inching in on the 200 mark on the afternoon.
Another good run here for Ellis. You can see the edge sealed by the Mustangs. I mean, he's not getting tackled till he's well into the secondary. I didn't even realize for Halifax that was their fourth down play with no quarterback. Surprised they didn't try some sort of trickery on a special team punt or something. A little surprised at that play call for them, turning it over inside the 50-yard line.
Play action on that last play by Comfort. It connects with Blouin as Adams once again tried to jump in front of that pass. Quick strike there by Comfort.
If I'm Moncton at this point here, you're on the 30-yard line. I would exclusively just be handing the ball off here to whoever you want to put in the backfield.
Ellis off the right side. He's dragged down from behind. And that's a good open field tackle from behind, and that's number 27, Ryan Willis.
Well, finally get a bit of penetration here on a blitz as Willis through the B gap. Ellis sort of awkwardly goes down there as number 69 sort of landing on him as well, a D lineman.
And Ellis will leave the field now, and we'll have our third look at a running back, and that's number 3,
Ethan Forrest, it looks like.
Forrest is met by Deshaun States. Good form tackle in open field by States, and that limited Forrest to about a gain of 2.
And Forrest is hurt.
Forrest will be down, and the medical staff for the Mustangs will assist him. And Ellis will bounce right back in. And just to touch on Aubrey Ellis, had an outstanding game last weekend versus the Wanderers. Rushed for over 100 yards, 120 to be exact on 22 carries, averaged 5.5 yards a carry, his longest 26, and a touchdown. This afternoon, it's been the total opposite. He's been a workhorse for Jason Terrace, and he's been outstanding.
Well, geez, every time he's touching the ball here, he's putting up 10 yards. So great yards per carry average here for Audrey Ellis. Again, obviously the workhorse, probably well up over 30 carries here already. Not even
closing in on about 200 yards with a touchdown. But the front three has been outstanding, and they're rotating a front three. You got Corey Lorette, Evan Melanson, and Greg Kinsman, who started the game. Jeremy Williams rotating in along with Jarek McWilliams, Dennis Duran, and Justin Boyvette. Those offensive linemen have been outstanding this afternoon and given Ellis time and space and getting into the defensive backfield downfield.
Well, that's a big thing when you can keep your O-line fresh and having that type of rotation as the game gets on. Your defenders are wearing out, and you've got fresh bodies coming into the game with that big push. Again, allowing your running backs really to not even be touched till you get into the halfback safety secondary of that Halifax defense. So interesting to see what they do here, try to contain Ellis.
Here's Ellis again, and he's dragged down once again by Willis in the open field. If he wasn't, he was off to the races once again, as Forrest was able to make it under his own strength to the sidelines for the Mustangs.
Actually, nice job here by Willis stemming that block as he's able to stiff arm, shed that block, come off and make a tackle on Ellis. If he doesn't make that tackle, Ellis has room to the sideline. He'll probably be looking to hand the ball to the referee on a touchdown if Willis doesn't make that tackle.
Third down now. Comfort outside, and that's too high for Blouin, who was wide open in the flats, unable to bring down that high delivery by Comfort. As we have 4th down now, and decision time for Terrace as he brings on the kicking team.
Comfort throws a bit of a heater there. A little high for Blouin.
Yeah, he had all kinds of time. He probably would have been better to actually put a little bit more touch on that pass and allow Blouin to run under it.
Again, lots of room for Blouin. They're giving up the underneath at this point, but that's the one point. Halifax's defensive secondary, very talented, and they can make you pay if you make a mistake in the air.
So 27-yard try here for George, and George hits it wide, and that'll go out of bounds, and that'll be a single.
The Rouge
for George. So just as we mentioned George and how, well he was kicking this afternoon, we put kind of a jinx on him as he's 2 for 4 now.
Well, so I guess it's never good to talk about the kickers, but lots of leg on that kick from George, just wide of the upright. But again, you're still putting points on the board. A good, long, sustaining drive here on the ground for the Mustangs, wearing out that Halifax defense. And again, at this point,
yeah, it comes down to time and score now for the Mustangs,
exactly.
As they know that that offensive threat is no longer there for Halifax.
Exactly. You're playing the clock as much as you're playing the Harbour Hawks at this point, where you say they're going to have to beat you on the ground with no quarterback, eat up the clock offensively, and again still come away with points. You would have probably liked to get 3 there instead of 1, but it's still making this a 2-score game here, or I guess a score and a converted 2-point conversion.
21-13 to be exact. Williams with a lot of work to do offensively, and we have a whistle on the play and a timeout called. And it'll be called by the Mustangs, as it looked like
9
Dunstan
players on the field.
Yeah, Dunstan a little late getting to the field and spot. I'm not sure if he was having a conversation with his defensive coordinator, but Jason Terrace is not happy. And that's one thing if I know about Jason Terrace. He is very meticulous when it comes to execution. He wants to see all 3 phases of the game being done well for his team.
Absolutely, and there's a reason they're the defending champions of the MFL League, and that's in part due to the work there that Jason Terrace has put in as head coach. And I think that just basically being where it was a rouge, a score, there was no kickoff. Halifax elected to take the ball on the 35, where Dunstan, not seeing the kickoff, did not realize he had to come out to defend.
So Williams will bring him up for Halifax. Play action, Williams keeps. Williams across the line of scrimmage. He breaks a tackle and finally brought down by multiple tacklers. Oak, the first one there to bring him to the ground. And that's a gain about 4 yards for Williams, 5 to be exact.
And you can tell just the miscommunication there within the huddle, the play action to the tailback with the jet sweep motion. These guys are trying to run some plays that they're not familiar with the absence of Micah Brown, who's out here due to injury, the standout quarterback here for the Harbour Hawks. So, again, the ball's going to be on the ground, and that's what you're playing here as defense for Moncton. And it's going to be a tough drive here for the Harbour Hawks, especially.
It gets even tougher right now. It looks like there was a holding call called by the headman Ray Dunn, as that'll negate that 5-yard gain for Williams, and it'll reset the sticks, and it'll be 1st down and 20 for Halifax.
Oh, and a swing pass. That's a backwards pass. That's a live ball.
And a turnover as Miles unable to come up with that pass. And a turnover. And going back the other way, and an opportunity now for the Mustangs. So an errant pass by Williams.
Again, if you're gonna go to the air at Halifax, at least make it a forward pass, as opposed to giving up the ball inside the 20-yard line here to the Mustangs.
Well, we got lots of football here, and anything can happen. And right now, Halifax is essentially handing the game over to Moncton right now, trailing by 8. With the defense, and the defense has been playing well, close to either the midfield stripe or on the other side of the Mustangs. But when you give the Mustangs this short kind of field in that running game with Aubrey Ellis, you're pretty much allowing them to score points.
Well, you're putting your defense in a very tough spot here, and full credit to both teams, Halifax and Moncton, for the effort they've put out here tonight. But again, back to Moncton here running this ball. Nice play action by Comfort.
A good catch by Blouin. He was able to make adjustment there and corralling it, and that was for about 9 yards to be exact. So 2nd down and goal for the Mustangs And you got to think Ellis is going to get the ball on this opportunity. And Ellis does, down the left side.
Yep.
And he is tripped up in the backfield by Willis, and finally brought down by Spence Lewis.
We see here a good stretch play here by Comfort, trying to get Ellis on the outside here on the edge. Good setting the edge there by number 5, Halifax, forcing Ellis back into his help, to his D-line, to his linebackers who are flowing the ball.
Yeah, Cauley funneling that play inside. Comfort under center. Comfort will try the sneak, and Comfort's in. So that's the second quarterback sneak for Dan Comfort, and that's number 2 on the afternoon for the pivot.
Well, that's the thing. You can tell once the quarterback's under center, very little plays called offensively under center here for the Mustangs.
He's only been under center twice, and they've been keepers, and they've been touchdowns.
Exactly. And again, full credit to that whole line for the push they get up there up front.
The push up front was excellent as Comfort falls in for the touchdown. And now George will try the extra point.
The feel-good extra point after the Rouge.
And he makes no mistake as he kicks that right between the uprights and puts it up.
Over the bar in the end zone.
Exactly, and he puts it up on the deck there in the stands behind the fence and up on the deck where there looks like a standing room only audience was able to make that catch as he clears that fence as they had a few beers, might even knocked over somebody's cold beverage.
In the wake of the force of that kick, but that was with authority over the MFA building in the end zone.
Yeah, he wasn't making any mistake getting that one through the uprights.
That's a good 50 yards away from the uprights. So again, Ben George bringing the crowd to life here with a monstrous kick here for the extra point.
So 1:24 remaining in the third. Lots of football remaining in this one. Mustangs up 20 by that count, 28-13. Halifax looking for some answers. And George will set up the Stangs here on the kickoff. Williams, and it looks like number 7 for Brady, that is, on the return, and Brady's wrapped up and brought down, and that's good coverage downfield by the Mustangs as number 31 was able to make that tackle.
TK Rugless
Gannon in the open field as he laid the hammer, as you like to call it. The Hoggies, I mean, good lanes you can see there on this kickoff.
Gannon the cannon coming downfield, looking to make a tackle.
Yeah, he had his motor on full throttle there, untouched, as Brady unable to make any hay, and they'll start just short of their 20-yard line as Williams brings them out. Cameron, he breaks a tackle and he gets into the second level. We have a late flag on the play. As Cameron falls forward for a gain of about 7.
Good run by Cameron. You're going to see him switch the ball. Almost fumbles this in the exchange. You can see him here switch to that outside hand. Good physical run by Cameron inside for the Harbour Hawks.
And let's see what we got here as Ray Dunn will give us the official call.
It's number 6-1 on the Mustangs for face mask. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So 15 yards after the end of the run. That'll tack on an extra 15. Face mask called on the Mustangs. As it looks like just Deshaun States is down on one knee for Halifax. He's being assisted by their medical staff. States is back up, and he'll walk off and head his way towards the sidelines. Let's hope that States is okay. So if you're just joining us here at Rocking Stone Field in Moncton, it's the Mustangs 28-13. Chris Corey, Vince Williams on hand here for the second regular season game between these two teams. Both teams coming into this afternoon's matchup at 1-0. Williams off the snap, and Williams races down the left side, and he gets in the open field and finally brought down after a first down. So maybe a little bit of momentum now for Halifax after they were backed up at the shadows of their own goalpost.
Well, a little bit of momentum, just the fact that they've been able to get a clean exchange here the last couple of snaps, where really, you don't get a chance to. You only have 1 or 2 practices maybe per week leading into a game.
Right.
Your starters are taking all the main reps.
And I'm not sure if Jonah Williams got any snaps at the backup quarterback position when you have a Micah Brown under center.
I'm going to say no at this point, but the fact that they're out there, again, piecing together their offense and still executing.
Yeah.
Full
You got to give it to them.
Halifax.
Exactly. You got to give it to them as the crowd ensues after the play. Cooler heads prevail as that high snap was corralled by Williams. Try to make his way in the eye of the storm, which is in the middle of that Mustang defense, who's been outstanding this afternoon, Chris.
Well, absolutely. I mean, like you said, they've controlled the ball, the line of scrimmage on both sides, offense and defense. Some of their starters now given a bit of a break. Some, like I said, Moncton carrying 50 players here on their roster, getting everybody into this game here with a 2-score lead. So giving some fresh bodies in there for them to get some game time experience against this physical Halifax Harbour Hawk team. And again, allowing Halifax to get a couple runs here, but
Williams on second down. He fires downfield looking for Fisher. Fisher unable to come up with it, and that'll do it. That's the end of 3. So we'll step aside. Stay with us. You're watching Maritime Football League action here on Rogers TV. Welcome back to Rocky Stone Field in Moncton, New Brunswick for Maritime Football League action with Chris Corey, Vince Williams on hand. It's the Moncton Mustangs leading after 3 quarters, 28-13, but it's been the impressive inside running game of the Mustangs, Chris.
Well, absolutely, especially that offensive line leading the way here for Audrey Ellis, putting up close, if not over 200 yards here so far in this game for the Mustangs, and really a physical battle inside here on both sides of the ball.
Halifax continuing, though, the drive here with the football. Williams goes downfield, and that's almost picked off, tipped as number 57. I'm not sure what the call is. There will be a conference, a quick one, for the officials to decide if that catch was corralled off the tip. And an incomplete pass as number 57 unable to corral it for the Mustangs, and that's Velarde Joseph.
Again, good effort here by that Mustang defense in pass coverage. Primarily playing run here against Halifax, who's without their starting quarterback, Micah Brown. Nice play there by Moncton, but pretty clear that did hit the turf here on that 3rd down play.
So the main guy was able to break that up, get a hand in the passing lane, tip it to his teammate Joseph. Joseph unable to catch that off the carom, that is, and secure it. And like you said, Chris, that'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation, and that'll bring out the punter for Halifax as they will kick.
I think the punter's being helped off the field here as we speak.
Gret Miles, who was listed as the punter in this game. Miles slow to his feet, maybe favoring that right ankle or right knee area, and that'll summon number 8, Spencer Wells. He'll kick for Halifax.
And that's the thing here with
So Halifax trying to sort things out here. They had to call a timeout to try to figure out how many Harbour Hawks they had on the field. It looked like they ended up with 11. Now they got things straight. Onside man is Thomas. Kicks away.
Halifax
Guillaume,
bounce
though.
here.
Yeah, Guillaume, not sure what he was doing there. Guillaume, though, breaks a tackle and finally brought down by Adams, but it looks like we might have a no yards call on Adams, as he might have been in that 5-yard restricted zone.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, taking the Halifax bounce, some of the coverage team, I think, a little too anxious to make a tackle, may have encroached on that 5-yard cushion or bubble that the returners allowed to have.
Might be even surprised that Wells was
We have
able to
no
get off a
yards on the
good
kicking
kick.
team, number 41. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
So an extra 5 yards tacked on after the run as Adams was within that 5-yard restricting zone. And that'll move the ball up to about the 9-yard line to start this drive for the Mustangs. Excuse me, the 14, that is.
Probably the worst starting field position for the Mustangs in this game. But the nice punt there by Halifax, especially with their starting punter being off the field here due to injury.
And late coming on the field is number 69 for Halifax, but he can't bring down Crandall. Crandall breaking down a plethora of tacklers.
Moving the pile.
Dragging the pile about 9 yards is Crandall, and he'll pick up a gain of 19.
Again, nice run here by Mark Crandall. Coming into the game, avoids that high tackle, gets the pad level low, keeps the legs pumping, and he's able to rip off a good 15 to 20-yard run here. Again, moving the pile backwards.
Yeah, Lewis had an opportunity to blow that play up in the backfield, unable to bring down Crandall. Crandall now again on back-to-back carries. And Crandall, a straight-up runner, but he is a load in the middle of the field. Not much for him when it comes to lowering the shoulders. Let's take a look.
Well, again, Crandall, very much a power back. He's got the legs get stopped there at that point. Overwhelmed by Halifax Harbour defenders, but again, another good run inside. The clock keeps moving.
He dragged Lewis, and then Holland had to help out. And finally bring down Crandall as Adams is on his feet. He was the man down for the Harbour Hawks. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Mustangs.
Got to admire Crandall back there pounding the rock. You'd think the young legs would be the guys in there hammering it between the tackles, but Crandall, the veteran presence.
Again, and it looks like he gets first down yardage as he moves the chains. So Crandall was very effective in that third quarter, spelling Ellis, and once again, he comes in and gets the job done again on 3 consecutive carries for 20 yards.
Again, nice
30 yards, excuse me, because he got 19 on the first one, and then he picked up, we'll give him 30. We'll round it out. It was 29 to be exact, but we'll give him 30.
Easily, that's a good run per yard per run average as well here for Crandall. Again, nice little series for him, moving them out to midfield and then getting the fresh legs back in the game.
Yeah, they're all-star, and that's Ellis. Here's Ellis off the right side. Ellis, he draws 3 tacklers and he finally brought down, and a flag comes out, and it looked like it might be unnecessary roughness called on Cervella.
We're going to see here at the end of this run, Cervella trying to float a ball. Not sure if it was unnecessary roughness or what. It may have been piling on there at the end, but another nice run there by Ellis, stringing out that Halifax defense.
And it's face mask, and here's the official call by Ray
Unnecessary roughness, face mask, number 21 on the defense. 15-yard penalty results in a first down.
So it's Cervella's off the hook, but Devin Taylor's on the hook for the unnecessary roughness on that tackle.
It's so easy to get your hands caught in the face mask when you're trying to make a tackle, especially when you're been on the field all day like the Harbour Hawks have been here. Sometimes the tackles get a little higher than they intend to be.
Ellis again on the carry. Ellis, and he is brought down after first down yardage, and that's a gain of 13. Ellis continuing to pile up the yards on the ground for the Mustangs.
Again, untouched here coming out of the backfield. Nice blocking downfield here as well by his receivers. I believe that's Morley.
Ellis,
size up.
Ellis is up to 240 yards now on 36 carries.
Again, the workhorse here for the Mustangs. But again, doing exactly what they need to. Going to be eating the clock here and wearing down that Halifax defense, who you can tell is tired, but a nice defensive play there.
Yeah, outstanding play by Fisher, who crosses the line and was able to penetrate and finally bring down Ellis to limited yards. It looked like be a loss, and we haven't said that much this afternoon. Probably the first loss of carry for Ellis.
And really, Fisher, the big-time receiver here for the Harbour Hawks, forced into some defensive work here for them playing a little DN linebacker coming up to make that stop, and really a position he's more suited to be your high-powered receiver.
Yeah, Fisher with 4 receptions and a touchdown this afternoon before Micah Brown exited the game. And Ellis again finding his way off the left side, and a late flag coming out as the Mustangs continue the drive, as they started this drive on their own 14-yard line.
And you can tell there, just the drive off the line. Lewis, your D lineman, he got pushed 6 yards downfield before he was able to shed that block and come off to try to make that tackle. So
it looks like we have an extra 10 yards tacked on, and let's get the official call here. Maybe 15.
Unnecessary roughness, number 25 on White. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty resulting in a first down.
So Jordan Forrest called for unnecessary roughness after the play. And undisciplined football on this drive being displayed by Halifax. I mean, the game is not over. They're still, within 15 points, but you got to keep your head.
Well, I think at this point here, fatigue has to play into it for that Halifax defense as well. They've been out there all game. And like you said, really that run game, inside run game, the big boys are wearing down a little bit, and that's when you start seeing some high tackles and some face masks.
Crandall in, play action, and Comfort unable to find Blouin, and that's incomplete.
Quick look here to his slot in motion. Again, looking for that separation just a little bit behind Blouin. Timing may have been thrown off there a little bit at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the penetration there by Jared Holland, getting his hands up in that passing lane. So Comfort will bring him up on second. Crandall inside. Crandall barrels, and Crandall's in for the touchdown. So the veteran Crandall falls forward. Crandall gets it done. All 5'7", 225 of Crandall.
Don't let that height deceive you. He's a load, and again gets rewarded for the work he did at the start of that drive, getting him out of their own zone, and really carrying the load here for the Mustangs on that drive. Finished off with a nice touchdown run. Nice blocking up front by the O-line.
Yeah, it's good to see the veteran Mark Crandall getting rewarded at the end of this drive, as the Mustangs started the drive at the 14-yard line, but it was Crandall who got things going and got the engine flowing downhill with his runs. 4 carries for 36 yards and a touchdown on this drive, and he spelled Ellis, and they were quality carries for Crandall as he moved the chains. And that's what you want when you have your backup running back that checks in the game for a running back that's carried the ball close to 40 carries, and 275 yards.
No, you're exactly right here as they check for the ball being kicked through the back of the end zone here after that extra point. But again, like you said, for Crandall, being able to come in, spell Ellis, who's been a monster all game, and really not fall off in productivity. You're still moving the ball 8 to 10 yards per clip, again, due to one, talent that tailback, that push from the O-line, and you can sort of see the steam coming out of those defenders on the Halifax D-line, as really they've been manhandled here all game by the high-powered Moncton Mustangs.
Yeah, the Mustangs have done an outstanding job as that extra point, it looks like, if the scoreboard reads right, it was 35. Good. George now, onside kick. Not sure where this is coming. That's short of 10 yards. Picked up by Joseph. Excuse me.
All for naught.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a penalty on the play. And they're probably going to have to re-kick this, as short of the 10 yards gain. And let's see what now. Actually, it looks like Halifax will scrimmage from that spot.
Halifax has the option to
procedure on the kicking team. It's going to be white ball, first down.
Oh, there you go. Yep. Procedure on the kicking team by Ray Dunn, and that procedure can be either in a result of 5 yards going back and re-kicking, or taking the ball where it was received, and this is a good advantage here for Halifax.
Well, exactly. The ball has to travel 10 yards off the kickoff before it can be touched by the kicking team. At this point here, Halifax, instead of making them re-kick, are going to get the ball at the Mustang 50-yard line based on where that ball was touched by the Mustangs on the kickoff. So
yeah, Rickard picking it up after that short kick by George. Now Williams will bring out Halifax again. Williams Williams down the left side. He's got space, and Williams is out of bounds after picking up a gain of 17. So good looking play there by Williams in the pistol.
Well, that's the thing. Williams really doing that on his own, able to bounce that outside here. You're going to see Moncton defender losing the edge. Williams able to pull that down. Would have liked to see him move the ball to his other hand to keep it towards the sideline so he doesn't fumble. But a good show of athleticism there by Williams to get the sticks moving here for Halifax with that good field position off the short kick.
So Halifax moving in striking distance, knocking on the doorstep, fumble behind the line of scrimmage, and picked up there and coming out of harm's way. And we have, two guys getting into it after the play, as Taylor was able to secure it. Didn't secure the handoff, but he got it right back. He had to be quick as Oak was barreling down.
Number 67 white and number 50 black. It's going to be first down.
So we have offsetting unnecessary roughness calls on Halifax. That's number 67 Brian McEachran and number 50 Blake Allen for the Mustangs. It'll be second down and 12, or 11 and a half to be exact.
Bit of a bad exchange there in the backfield for Halifax, but
huge
can't be expected, especially with the loss of Mika Brown here, their normal QB.
And I'm not sure if Taylor's the backup running back, but he is. He's in there. Taylor with space though. Great athleticism. Taylor breaks a tackle. Good stiff arm. He's in the open field. Taylor now finally brought down at the 15-yard line, and that was a good-looking play on the draw for Halifax.
Well, I like that here. Nice little delay here by Taylor. So he's going to hit that gap. Obviously, the defender's coming upfield aggressively playing run, and he's able to bounce that to the outside, use his speed, and really taken down here just inside the 20-yard line here by the Mustangs.
Yeah.
But a nice little run here for Taylor and the Harbour Hawks.
Yeah, that was an outstanding stiff arm there he put on Bannister, and Bannister looks like he's playing with one arm as he exits the field now. Williams on first down. Williams and penetration. Williams sidesteps a defender, but dragged down and thrown down by Oak. Oak might have saved a touchdown there in the open field as Williams was able to dance around three defenders.
Well, you can tell here with the misdirection play, Williams not sure which way to fake the handoff at this point. And again, like I said, not having a whole lot of experience or opportunities to practice these during the week under center. So making the best that he could out of that situation. Positive yards off that play is a good thing. And giving them another chance here inside the 20.
Gain of 2. Williams was going wide open as Fisher. That's tipped at the last moment. Fisher broke open, and Guillaume was able to break that one up. But Fisher had some daylight. Williams was able to, show just a little bit more form on that pass. But a good-looking pass. The spiral kind of wobbled at the end as Fisher was able to break open. But that's knocked away by Guillaume. Great defensive play by the free safety.
Love Williams sticking in there and taking a hit by Dunson, the D tackle, to get that throw off. Had Fisher for a split second in the end zone, but broken up there. Like you said, a nice defensive play on that post route.
Williams will keep it. Williams left side. Williams breaks a tackle, and he's dragged down, but he'll fall forward close to first down yardage. And it is a first down officially, and they're knocking on the doorstep at the 5.
Again, nice block here by Taylor. He's going to lead him up.
And he sacrifices his body there as he's trying to take on that block by Oak.
Allows Williams to get enough for that first down. Nice run, good flow by the Mustangs defense. But again, some athleticism there by Williams out of the backfield, bringing them to the doorstep here, not in knocking distance here of the goal line.
So, good-looking drive for Halifax. Williams puts it up, and it hits the uprights as breaking free in front of the defender was number 7, Andre Brady, as the uprights gets Williams, and this would never happen in American football.
As the uprights are at the end of the end zone out of play. But basically once it hits the upright, it's a dead ball and can't be played off the carom. So
an incomplete pass aided by the goal post. And Halifax looking to, right now the game pretty much looks like it's out of reach, just over 7 minutes, but this might, be a positive going forward the rest of the season. Williams breaks a tackle in the backfield. Williams down the left side, didn't get much help as Oak once again was able to penetrate across the line of scrimmage.
And good run there, short yardage for Williams, trying to get into the goal line, but nice stop there.
Needed some
Number
blocking
14.
there. Couldn't get any blocking on the edge.
Again, I think he tried to run inside, tried to bounce it out, and just didn't have that alley to get any separation from those defenders.
And that'll bring up 3rd and goal for the Harbour Hawks.
You can tell the Mustangs not wanting to concede any points here. They've got their starters back in the lineup defensively, looking to stymie this offensive attack.
And Williams looks through the end zone for Wells, and that's incomplete. Wells unable to get separation on the defender as the penetration came late by the Mustangs.
Bringing up 4th down, Halifax fully intending to go for it here.
Oh, absolutely.
On the 5-yard line.
The Harbour Hawks, though,
Timeout.
call a timeout. They want to talk it over, because this is an important down for them to gain some morale, if anything, with 6:20 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Well, again, lots of fight left in Halifax. Down 3 scores here to the Mustangs. But again, on the doorstep here, an opportunity to put up another score here to bring it to within 2. Again, trying to do this without a few of their key parts. It was specifically Mika Brown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going out here to an Achilles injury in the first half. So a lot of players trying to do some things they're not familiar with and make this work. So
yeah, if you're just joining us, Mika Brown, the outstanding quarterback for the Halifax Harbour Hawks, went down in the 2nd quarter with an apparent Achilles, a right Achilles that was ruptured, and he had to be helped off the field, and we haven't seen him since. And I got the official word that it was an Achilles, and his return was questionable. Now it's definitely he will not return in this game as he's nursing that injury. So back to the action here. Williams on 4th down. Straight snap to Williams. Williams trying to dance around 2 defenders, and he is wrapped up, met in the hole, and finally brought down short of the goal line, and that was Ben Dunstan.
Dunstan having an outstanding game here for the Mustangs. Inside, look at the push they're getting off that snap, right 2 yards into the backfield. Williams trying to cut back. Dunstan stays in his gap, in his lane, and basically plays his assignment. Takes Williams to the ground, negating any scoring opportunity here for the Harbour Hawks, forcing the turnover. As
turnover on downs as Ben Dunstan did an outstanding job of scraping down the line of scrimmage, keeping his gap protection, and closing the hole and the gap between him and Williams. So turnover on downs, a missed opportunity for, if anything, a morale-boosting drive for the Halifax Harbour Hawks, and the Mustangs will start on their own 2-yard line as Comfort brings them up. Crandall, here's Crandall. He powers his way in the middle of the Halifax defense. The ball comes out late after the whistle, but that's a good gain for Crandall, a gain of 6.
Again, especially short yardage in the shadow of your own goalpost. Crandall, good ball security, gets into traffic, keeps the legs pumping.
Carries for 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
The whistle had gone here by the time the ball came out a little late, as his forward progress had been stopped. But again, trying to move your way out of your own end here for the Mustangs to possibly extend this drive.
Crandall again showing some quick feet, but he's finally brought down for a gain of 5. He gets the first down as Cawley was able to bring him down. Crandall's got 7 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown. You gotta give it to the veteran, Spelling Ellis. Oh, Ellis looked like he was coming, but Crandall wanted a quick blow, but Jason Terrace says, no, you stay in there.
That's right. He's the big back. He's going to get them this first down, which he already did, actually. So he's in there for the next series.
Comfort, quick strike, and incomplete the blue end. Good defensive play by Nate Adams as he was able to break up that quick strike off the play action by Comfort.
No chance that was a catch and a fumble. We'll have a look here on the replay. Comfort, quick hitter. Going to be to his left to Blue M, assuming. Never quite had possession of that. That was good defensive coverage there by Halifax.
Yeah, Nate Adams, who's been one of the bright spots for Halifax in that third quarter. He had a pick six for 60 yards back the other way and gave Halifax some life. But here's the outstanding player of the afternoon right now, and that's Aubrey Ellis. Ellis, another gain of 9 yards. This guy has been terrific, and he's putting up, even though it's only 2 games in, he's putting up MVP type numbers.
Well, absolutely, especially coming off the title run they had last year. Ellis a huge part of that offense. But again, just the workhorse that he's been here for the Mustangs. Got to be well over 30 carries for Ellis at this point, 200 plus yards.
I think he's knocking on 300 unofficially. Ellis again up in the middle, and he falls forward for the first down after a gain of 3. The Mustangs had an outstanding offense in 2017. Ellis was on the All-Star team. Alex Doyle, also his teammate, the other running back on the All-Star team. Offensive lineman Greg Kinsman was on the All-Star team. Wide receiver Glodin Mullally was on the All-Star team. And the kicker, Scott LeBlanc, was on the All-Star team. And that's just the offense. Now, if you take a look at the defense, they also had some outstanding defensive players on the All-Star team as well. Defensive lineman Matt Porter, John Phillips, along with Steve Cormier, who's and that's a good gain and for Ellis again as he picks up the first down and moves the chains. As I finish this thought, Steve Cormier, who's a Hall of Famer. Now, I played against Cormier. I got 12 years in this league. I retired in 2012 after winning the championship. As the 3 minutes come up here, we got 2:55 remaining in the fourth. But Steve Cormier finally hangs it up after 16 years.
Well, Stevie Cormier, one of the best running backs in the MFL to ever come through, and really came back after retiring once before and played linebacker. And was dominant at that position as well on the defensive side of the ball, retiring after their last championship year with the Mustangs. So, again, some Hall of Famers there. Glodin Mullally, Rookie of the Year with the Acadia Axemen this year. So some highly talented All-Stars on both sides of the ball. But, again, Moncton coming off that championship season. Lots of star-studded offensive power there for them, with Aubrey Ellis here obviously carrying the load for them this afternoon.
Yes, the 6th championship for a Moncton-based team in the 16th years of the MFL. As the backup quarterback's in now for the Mustangs, but he hands it off to Ellis, who continues to rack up the yards. Ellis in the open field, and he picks up about 17 yards on that carry. As checking into the game now, number 11, David Patry.
David Patry.
Go ahead, you know him a little better than I do.
Former quarterback with the Odyssey Olympien here in Moncton.
Well, there you go. That's one that I did not know, being a Nova Scotia guy.
That's a broadcast journalist doing his detective work here to research the players. But again, pretty good accomplished quarterback here in his high school days in Moncton, and I believe heading down to Mount Allison this season to partake in the Mount Allison Manly's football program.
Oh, there you go. He'll join fellow teammate on this team as Crandall is thrown to the ground after gaining 7 yards by number 58, Joe Morgan. Picks up 7 officially, as he'll join Dan Comfort in vying for that backup position at quarterback at Mount Allison, or even, if anything, the 3rd position.
Well, that's thinking some changes at Mount Allison as well. Pete Frazier taking over as the head coach there in Sackville. So football camp not too far away for the university boys as well. So, again, very happy to be watching some football here this afternoon before we've even gotten into the month of June.
Yes, absolutely. The Maritime Football League giving a great opportunity for some of these players that will play on the next level, either in the AUS or the AFL, an opportunity to keep their skills sharp and go into their respective camps sharp and making sure that their mind is still on football without getting injured. And that's the thing. Not getting injured is a key.
Is the big key for most of these guys. But interested to see what Patry's got here under center for Moncton.
Patry to Crandall. Crandall dances around the defender, finally tripped up by Holland. Holland with the celebration, but Crandall picks up the first down.
Well, that's the thing. Good run there by Crandall. You mentioned he does run a little high, and that's as a defender. If you can see the runner's stomach, you've got a big target to tackle. So you can tackle him low at the legs or get him through the midsection. So good tackle there by Halifax, but another good run by Crandall.
Holland with the open field tackle with the celebration, but we got about 15 years between the age difference between Holland and Crandall.
We're not going to tell you how old Crandall is, but
he probably thinks that he's a spring chicken, but he's not. He's playing like one right now. And Holland, the aforementioned Holland with the tackle up in the hole on Ellis. And a timeout on the field. Stoppage of the time, that is. We have 54.7 seconds left and counting in this one.
Another good run there by Ellis. I think Crandall wants to get in the Hall of Fame for a second time.
I got to check those Hall of Fame numbers and who's all in there.
Well, there's been some good ones that have come through. Obviously, the Mustangs, Dwayne Ells, A.J. Gallant.
I hate to, give myself a pat on the back. I might have to ask who's who's responsible for getting people into the hall. So I'm pretty sure I might be able to knock on the door if you look at those numbers in the books on All-Stars and MVPs and whatnot.
You might have to start photocopying your stats and bringing them to the games here, passing them out.
I really don't think I need to photocopy those stats. Moncton, St. John, Halifax, they all know that those stats are pretty much in doubt. If you look at the last 16 champions, there's only been one champion outside of the province of New Brunswick, and that's the 2012 Halifax Shockers.
The Shockers.
Exactly, the Shockers, and
yours truly, of course.
Exactly, game MVP. I hate to. The game is over, and that's the final gun and the final here. Getting back to the game, the Mustangs 35-13. A very impressive win in game number 2 as the Mustangs push their record to 2-0 in the MFL season, trying to defend their title from 2017.
Exactly, staying undefeated here earlier in this season. The season that started earlier than most here in the May-long weekend getting started. So 2-0 for the Mustangs. Hard-fought battle here against Halifax, but they're going to see them again here before the season's over. Whether or not Micah Brown will be back in the lineup for the Harbour Hawks, yet to be determined, but certainly a very spirited talent matchup here this afternoon in Rockystone.
So the final score, 35-13 for the Mustangs. They push their record to 2-0. Halifax will go to 1-1. For my producer, Jason King, Chris Corey, and the entire Rogers TV crew, Vince Williams saying thank you so much for watching the Maritime Football League, and so long from Moncton.